Ever wondered why English language learning feels like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded? The English language, my dear friends, is a peculiar creature. It's a maze of rules and exceptions, a labyrinth of sounds and silences. Take, for example, the word read. Now, is that read as in I read a book yesterday, or read as in I like to read in the evenings? Then there's lead. Is it lead as in I will lead the way, or lead as in the pencil is made from lead? Such are the complexities and oddities of this fascinating language. It's like a giant puzzle, each piece a word or a grammar rule. And just when you think you've got it all figured out, a new piece pops up out of nowhere. But don't worry, by the end of this video, you'll be navigating the English language like a pro, or at least a semi-pro. Who needs rules when you have exceptions, right? Now let's dive into the chaotic beauty that is the English language. It's full of quirks and oddities that make it both fascinating and, let's be honest, a bit maddening. Take, for example, the age-old rule we all learned in school. I before E except after C. Sounds simple enough, doesn't it? But then English being English decides to throw a spanner in the works. Words like weird and science look at this rule, chuckle and say, not today, thank you. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. English is a language of exceptions and it's not shy about it. You've got words like enough, though, and through, where O sounds different each time. And let's not forget the notorious read and lead, which can be pronounced in two different ways depending on the context. Even the silent letters are having a grand old party. You've got words like night, where the K and the GH decided to take a nap. An island, where the S apparently felt like it needed a holiday. Now you might be thinking, this is all a bit much, isn't it? And you wouldn't be wrong. But here's the thing, these exceptions, these oddities, they're what gives English its character. They're what make it unique, challenging, and yes, sometimes downright frustrating, but they're also what make it fun and interesting. So embrace the chaos, dive into the exceptions, revel in the unpredictability, because that's where the real magic of English lies. It's not a language to be tamed, but to be explored, discovered, and yes, occasionally tripped over. So next time someone corrects your English, just tell them you're practicing the exceptions. After all, in English, the exceptions aren't just the rule, they're the whole game. Think tongue twisters are just for fun? Think again. Tongue twisters, those tricky little phrases that trip you up and tie your tongue in knots, are not just a source of amusement. They're actually a secret weapon in mastering the English language. Now you might be wondering, how can something as silly as "she sells seashells by the seashore" help me speak better English? Well, it's all about pronunciation and fluency. You see, tongue twisters are designed to challenge your speech muscles and push them out of their comfort zone. They force you to focus on the sounds you're making and how you're making them. This intense focus on pronunciation and rhythm can lead to a noticeable improvement in your overall fluency. Here's another fun one for you. How can a clam cram in a clean cream can? Try saying that 3 times fast. Tongue twisters like this one help you practice specific sounds that you might struggle with. The more you repeat them, the better you'll get at producing those sounds. Let's not forget the confidence boost either. Successfully saying a tongue twister can feel like a real achievement. It's a fun way to measure your progress and see how far you've come in your English learning journey. So when it comes to tongue twisters, don't shy away from the challenge. Embrace the twists and turns and keep practicing. So keep twisting your tongue until it becomes an English-speaking gymnast. What if I told you that the key to success is failure? Yes, you heard me right, failure. Or in the context of language learning, making mistakes. You see, it's through our blunders and missteps that we truly learn. Funny enough, it's not the words we get right that stick in our minds, but the ones that we trip over, mangle, and completely butcher. Picture this. You're at a fancy dinner and you're trying to impress your companions by speaking in English. You want to say, "I'm full," but instead you confidently declare, "I'm fool." A wave of laughter washes over the table. Embarrassing? Absolutely. But I guarantee you'll never make that mistake again. And then there's the classic mix-up of dessert and dessert. They look similar, they sound similar, but boy, oh boy, do they mean different things. Imagine telling your friends you crossed the Sahara Desert. They might just picture you wading through a sea of chocolate mousse and vanilla pudding, rather than trudging through endless sand dunes. Now, these examples might sound hilarious, but they underline the importance of making mistakes. Each mistake is a learning opportunity, a chance to strengthen your grasp on the language. They're not something to be feared or avoided, but embraced and even celebrated. Think of it this way: every time you trip over a word, you're not falling, you're stumbling towards progress. Every grammatical error you make isn't a step back, but a leap forward. Every mispronunciation isn't a failure, but a victory in disguise. So the next time you find yourself worrying about making a mistake, remember this: it's through our mistakes that we learn the most. It's through our failures that we find success. And in the grand journey of language learning, it's not about getting every word right, it's about embracing every word, right or wrong. So go ahead, make mistakes, mispronounce words, mix up your grammar. Because in the end, it's these blunders that will shape your understanding and mastery of the English language. Remember, mistakes are just your future success stories in disguise. Ever eavesdropped on a conversation? No? Well, maybe you should start. Now, before you raise an eyebrow at me, let's clarify. I'm not encouraging you to be a nosy Parker or a peeping Tom. However, when it comes to mastering the English language, a little bit of accidental listening can go a long way. You see, learning a language is not just about cramming grammar rules or memorizing vocabulary. It's about training your ears to catch those unique sounds, rhythms, and intonations that make the language come alive. It's about immersing yourself in the melody of English, whether it's through a catchy pop song, a gripping podcast, or yes, even an overheard conversation at the coffee shop. This is the art of listening, the ability to absorb and understand the language as it's naturally spoken, not just as it's written in textbooks. It's about tuning into the world around you and making sense of the English that's all around us. It might be a tricky skill to master, but it's an essential one. After all, a language is not just a tool for communication, it's a bridge to understanding different cultures, perspectives, and ways of life. So put on those headphones and we shall transform eavesdropping into an educational tool. Scene script. Want to master English? Great. When you do, let us know how. Learning English, or any language for that matter, is like embarking on a never-ending journey. It's a bit like setting off to explore a new city without a map or a GPS. You might get lost, you might stumble upon a hidden gem, or you might just find yourself in a roundabout going in circles, wondering why you can't seem to pronounce thorough the same way twice. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not that we're suggesting you'll never fully grasp the language. It's more about acknowledging that languages, much like life, are a perpetual work in progress. They evolve, they change, they grow. So even if you've mastered the rule book, don't be surprised if the language decides to play a little game of hide and seek with you. You see, even us native speakers are continually learning. That's right. We too stumble upon new words, phrases, idioms, and slang every now and then. You might think we have it all figured out, but trust me, the day we stop learning is the day pigs fly or hell freezes over, whichever comes first. Just the other day, I found out that floccinaucinihilipilification is an actual word, and not a random string of letters someone's cat walked over on the keyboard. It's one of the longest words in English and means the act or habit of estimating something as worthless. Who knew? So, my dear language explorers, don't fret if you feel like you're not there yet. Remember, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Embrace the chaos, the confusion, and the constant learning. And that's it, folks. Remember, the English language is a maze, not a labyrinth. There's always a way out, or in this case, a way in.